email. So, and there's a video of the Allen shooting, but I'm pretty sure you guys have seen all of that. I know I have. There's a video out there of the the gunman pulling up in his vehicle. He just kind of pulled up in the parking lot, and he was right there near the sidewalk, facing the sidewalk. People just walking around, and he got out of his weapon, got his weapon, got out of the vehicle, and just opened fire on those people, those unarmed folks. There's a video out there that shows that. Again, it's just lucky that police officer was close. I guess he was on a unrelated call, just happened to be close. He heard the firing, he heard the shots being fired, and he ran to the location where he heard the shots being fired, and he engaged and neutralized this crazy man with a gun. So, and for anybody out there who thinks that that's just random everyday kind of stuff, it's not. This police officer is definitely a hero doing what he had to do. If I'm in a firefight, I certainly don't want to go against a man who's carrying a rifle and I'm carrying a pistol, just off rip. And most law enforcement, most cops, they don't fire their weapon a lot. They don't go to the range a lot. That's one of the things that should change. Law enforcement should spend a lot of time on the range. They should get a lot of downtime. This man was the first man on the scene. This police officer came and did what he had to do. He neutralized the shooter. He was able to stop the threat. But unfortunately, there were people and babies among the victims who were just there laying there. And this police officer had to see this while at the same time scan to see if there were any other threats by himself. He's waiting for backup. And he's looking at these people who were hurt. He needs to help these people. He needs to do something, but he has to secure the weapon, secure the crime scene, make sure that there were no other shooters. He had to calm people down. This one man had to do all this until help arrived. He's probably at work now, doing paperwork or whatever. No, he should be with his family, his loved ones. He should be talking to folks. He should be getting help, and it should all be paid for. This is why law enforcement needs to get paid at least $100,000, no matter where they are. I mean, at a minimum, $100,000. This is why they should train, and this is why they need downtime. This is it. I mean, this is horrific. This isn't an everyday thing. Although people will have you believe it is, this is not an everyday thing in America. This kind of carnage you normally see on a battlefield, you don't see in a mall. So you're going to have to get right. You're going to have to get right. And if he can't overcome this mentally, he should be allowed to retire, full benefits. It's not his fault he had to deal with this. And if he's not right, we don't want him on the street. He could hurt someone or he can get hurt. This is what I'm talking about. If we're going to get into this conversation, we're going to talk about gun control. We need to talk about mental health. You can't have one without the other. You just can't. Brother Dino Dinosaur, R.I.P. He was deported twice out of the USA. Yeah, man, it's easy to get back into the USA, bro. I mean, it would be impossible to keep people out of this country, man. Even if Border Patrol got everything they could ever wish for, everything on their dream sheet, if they got everything they could possibly wish for, they could possibly hope for, people still would get through that border. People can get through the northern borders. People can come in through the ports. Most of the people who come in here, most of the people who are in the country illegally, they enter legally. Most of those folks who are here illegally enter legally. You go back to Mexico or wherever country you go to, you can get documents to say you're someone else. You can come in with legal documents that are forged. These issues aren't simple. One fix will fix all issues. It's an onion. You got to peel back each layer. And we need real no nonsense, common sense sort of measures to fix these things. We don't need politicians kicking it around. We don't need people trying to get political points. We don't need people trying to stay in their cushy political jobs. We need people who really want to get this done. They really want to fix this. They want to do it because it's right. That's what we need. But yeah, it's a revolving door down there on that Texas border, bro. It's tough. Sister Candace, it appeared as though the gunman had a fair amount of tactical gear on as well. He did, but I don't think he had I don't know this for a fact, but he had on tactical gear, but I don't know if he had on trauma plates and stuff like that. I don't know to what extent his gear helped secure him. I don't, what I mean, I don't know. I didn't, I'm not even looking for stories like that, to be honest with you. I wouldn't even, I just read a couple articles on this thing today. I was kind of staying away from it. But luckily, the police officer who responded had the training to overcome that tactical gear. That officer was able to take care of business. Again, running up into a situation where you was unknown shooters, you just hear weapons being fired. You're running up in there. You're in uniform. People know who you are. The bad guys can just look over and see your uniform. That's it's not like he was plain clothes. That's still scary. And you're going up against an assault rifle. So even with your ballistic equipment on, if you're not wearing a trauma plate, you might as well just be wearing a t-shirt. So I mean, I just want to stress how heroic that police officer is. And I really hope that they look after him and take care of him. Shout out to that brother. Brother Pitney's in the house. Penny Jules, what's good, man? The fact that guns are illegally trafficked in though through the southern border alongside drugs seems to be missing from the discussion. This is a major source of firearms used in the United States. Nah, bro, I think it's the other way around. The drugs come in to America and the money and guns go out. So the like ATF and all those guys, they're trying to keep the weapons in America because those weapons, those really nice looking, high powered, high speed weapons you see in Mexico came from America. So unless I'm wrong, the guns and money go into Mexico and the drugs and illegal personnel, migrants and stuff come north and the guns go south. The guns and the money go south, the drugs go north, along with people trying to get into America. So that's the way I understand it. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to it. But America doesn't need to smuggle weapons in from anywhere. We just don't. We don't need to smuggle the weapons in. We have them. We have plenty of those. There's more weapons in this country than there are people. So and that's big money. The guns go south because that's big money. The cartels, the bad guys, they can't get their hands on enough military grade hardware, so they're buying this stuff. I know a lot of military guys get busted by CID and other military police type organizations because it's the military guys who were selling these weapons to the cartels and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then Brother Penny's like, yeah, like all contraband, I'm sure they go both ways. Yeah, like, yeah. So the drugs come north, the money and guns go south. And that's, again, the Border Patrol is Border Patrol and ATF and HSI, shout out to Myron Gaines. That was his job. Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask him about that, bro. But I'm almost certain the drugs are going south. And that's what he was down there doing. He was chasing coyotes. He was chasing the people who were bringing in illegal people, human trafficking. He like really did true human trafficking cases. He worked those cases and he worked drug cases. And he talks about that on FEDIC. You guys should check that out, man. Matter of fact, let me pull that up. FEDIC is Myron Gaines' channel on YouTube where he breaks down all these different cases. I think he's talked about his time working HSI and his border stuff. I think he broke it down. It's FEDIC 1811 is the site. And yeah, Myron's doing real good over there, man. He's got 151,000 subscribers. He breaks down all sorts of cases. Quick commercial break for my brother Myron. And yeah, he breaks down all sorts of cases over there on FEDIC. From John Wayne Gacy to like the rappers like BMF, Big Meech and them. He breaks down, he talks about the Italian mafia. He talks about serial killers. He did a show about the Boston bombing thing. He did like shows about King Von, like all of the stuff that's new in the news about rappers, getting deleted or deleting folks or whatever. That stuff he covers, and then he goes back and he covers, like he covered what's the name of the pretty boy that deleted all those women, the serial killer? actually got married in court. I forget his name, but like he covers all that stuff. So anybody who likes those crime style dramas or whatnot, anything crime, check out Fed at 1811. I know a lot of people like, man, I can't stand Myron Gaines. This is the law enforcement guy. Who better than to break down these cases than a person who actually investigated the cases? And he doesn't just talk about the stuff. He goes and get documentation. He'll get the court records. He'll get the transcripts. He'll get the original you know how they have the warrants and stuff like that. He'll break down. He'll show you how to read warrants. It's a lot of good information over there. John Wayne Gacy. Thank you. Thank you, Sister Candace. Couldn't think of it. Thank you very much. Yeah, and Sister Candace said so many cases covered. Yeah, it's a really good show, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. He breaks it all the way down and gives you a really good idea of how that stuff goes. Recently did a show on I guess it was kind of like a tinfoil hat kind of thing, conspiracy theories revolving around 9/11. He talks about he broke down the Trump indictment. He broke that down. I mean, so anything that's in the news and you kind of want to see what's going on with it from the perspective of the boots on the ground, actually from the perspective of the people investigating said crimes, you know what I mean? Go check out Fettit. I know he did. He broke down Tekashi 6ix9ine and that whole case and how that went, and you know he has and a lot of times on those shows that he does, he'll give you some inside information that the mainstream media didn't know about because he was involved. He was working cases that might have been involved with the case that he's talking about loosely. He talks about how he used to run his snitches. He used to talk about how he used to run his cases and break stuff down. I'm telling you, Fed at 1811 is a really good resource if you want to know how law enforcement works it from their angle.